This is the story of a lesser-known grant program supported by NIH and the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. It's called the AREA-R15 program, and the funds support undergraduate research opportunities at smaller colleges and universities that don't have large-scale research programs. We developed the video to show you how one R15 grant at Northern Kentucky University has made an important difference in the lives of some incredibly talented young scientists and some important progress in understanding genetic susceptibility to developmental neurotoxicants. We call this the story of the little grant that could, and we're grateful to NIEHS for supporting our accomplishments and those of all R15 awardees. We couldn't have done it without you.
I don't know what it was, but I remember I was just like, I want to work in that laboratory, and for years I was so nervous, but once I got into it and she accepted me, I was so happy.
I've been very blessed with lots of different opportunities, lots of people knocking at my door in the science field, opportunities I definitely would not have without undergraduate research.
Thank you. That is the biggest thing I want to say. I am so thankful for this opportunity to have been able to be here and work in the Curran lab and be able to work with these undergrads and just learn so much along with them.
We call ourselves Team Norse after the NKU mascot, and we use genetically modified knockout mice to identify genes that increase susceptibility to polychlorinated biphenyls, which are persistent organic pollutants that harm the developing brain. The work is near and dear to our hearts. Among the 40-plus students who have been supported by our grant were 4 new moms and some with a little more experience. Lab members include those who have served our country and those from underserved communities in our country. We've made a few presentations. We've come home from conferences with a few awards, including 3 prestigious Pfizer undergraduate research awards at the Society of Toxicology meetings. But as you'll hear from current student Yasleen Villalona, alumnus Molly Cromie, and former postdoctoral fellow, Smitha Infante, that doesn't begin to explain the impact of the little grant that could.
When I first started in the lab, I was cleaning water bottles and changing cages, doing a lot of the grunt work. But then as time went on, I really dove in and wanted to learn how to do different things in the lab, that different projects. So I really just jumped in headfirst and started learning everything I could. And then towards the end of my time in the lab, before I graduated, I was starting to actually be able to run projects on my own, come up with different ideas for projects, and then actually was given the opportunity to train students under me to teach them how to do it for when I did leave, so the project could continue.
I actually wasn't expecting to get a position like this. It was kind of serendipity, and I was expecting to go to a regular, like an R1 university and just do straight up research, but this was the most amazing experience I've ever had. I got to work hand in hand with a lot of undergraduates that learned so many scientific principles, and it was just wonderful to see them grow as scientists. And I am grateful to be a part of that process with them. And I think the greatest part about the opportunity is that they actually get hands-on experience with what research is all about, and they learn the little details that are necessary to make science move forward. And it's an invaluable experience for them, I believe. And from the ones that I've worked with, I think a lot of them have gone on to do a lot of really exciting things in their lives and, have science in their lives permanently, and that's really cool to see.
I started at Cincinnati Children's after I graduated from NKU and did research there, working with mice and running a lot of the same kinds of experiments that I learned how to do originally in the lab at NKU. And I, after that, went up at OSU in Columbus, Ohio. So I was sitting in brain surgeries, hooking patients up to electrodes and monitoring their nervous system, working hand in hand with surgeons doing that. So although it's 2 widely different areas of science, I think that's the beauty of being able to do undergraduate research and working in in science, in biology especially. There's so many avenues to travel down, so many different opportunities to do. It's incredible. You kind of never know where it's going to take you, which is the beauty of it all.
So with an R15, they're actually able to think about their own experiments and come up with their own ideas and actually test them out. So they're learning a lot of invaluable critical thinking skills. And definitely in the lab that I was in, they were able to design their own experiments and carry them out. So that I think is a really cool experience for students in science to be a part of, because it lets them feel like they're actually part of research moving forward, and that motivates them to stay in research and actually become scientists.
I didn't know that there were so many toxic things out there that are affecting us every day. And that's just a shame, because I think that the coming generation, I don't think they understand that. And it just makes me sad, just because Earth is such a beautiful place, and just because of stuff that we've done in the past, it's still affecting us now. And like even the things that are getting into our soil is affecting us mentally. So it's just, I've learned a lot. Just pretty much that the world is not all nice and clean like we think it is. Personally, when it comes to me in the laboratory, I've learned that I can do a lot more other things, and I've learned to love genetics and working in the wet lab. But I've learned a lot about myself and my capability of doing things, but mainly just that the world's in trouble, and I'm just trying to fix it, just to see if there's something I can fix.
So in a lab course, first off, they are given an experiment, and they've got a list of things they need to follow, and it's A, B, C, D, and done. So it's 3 hours of some experiment, and they're done. But in a research lab, actually doing research, they're able to troubleshoot, and they're able to learn on their own about what works, what doesn't, what little details really matter for making science work. So I think it's invaluable for undergraduates to be in a lab environment and actually do scientific research and learn how to think critically about exactly what they're doing and how to handle the science.
As part of the Northern Kentucky University mission of community outreach, lab members are also active with science outreach and STEM education. We love translating toxicology for the general public, and we do mean translate.
Just because you get it in a supermarket doesn't mean it's safe for you. Solo porque lo compras en el supermercado no significa que es seguro. It was really educating for me, just because it was so much fun to work with kids of different nationalities. That there was Islamic children, there were Hispanic children, there was white and black children. It was awesome just to have them all in one room together and learning. I love children, and for me to be able to actually just educate them on something very significant in life is just like makes me really happy inside. So we went to a few schools. We did like a girls' camp, and we brought planaria. And we actually propped planaria in a little petri dish and saw them just put the planaria and see how the planaria would react with different doses of a different chemical, like nicotine or caffeine. That was really cool, because the girls wouldn't really, at first, because they're just little kids, I don't think they really understood the significance of it. And but then when they started seeing like an actual physical reaction of a living thing, they were just like, wow, that's really cool. It's sad, but it's really cool. And it was just like a learning experience for them, even though it's something that some parents or just people like consume every day, like cigarettes or caffeine. Like something that they do recreationally is not very good for you over time. So I think that was a really good learning experience for them.
So happy anniversary, NIEHS. We're proud to have been part of the first 50 years, and we can't wait to find out what the next 50 bring.
I never thought in a million years that I'd be doing research work, and all of these people that are in my lab, they're wonderful people. They're so smart. I envy them. It's just, we never knew we were capable of doing such cool things, and I feel like all of us together, working as a team, we're slowly making a difference. So I'm just so proud to be in this lab. I really am.